I've been I've been on the calls most this week, so yeah, so it's good. It's good. It's all still good. So thank you so much for hopping on. We appreciate the fact that you are here and hopping on to check in with us. Like I said, apologies from Tim and Ningi. Both of them are not available this morning, but I'm sure that their hearts is here with us this morning as well. Okay, so I just want to, Tim asked me just to check in with you guys if you've been doing his homework that he's been giving you guys, and how has it gone, and are you working your way towards reframing that mindset in terms of how you're going to view and participate in. I like what Ningi said once: participate in your own rescue, so to speak. So this is all part of participating. Is when you spend that time with Tim on a Saturday morning, and you just connect with a call on a Saturday morning. And as you're connecting with a call on a Saturday morning, you're obviously experiencing some information that you don't usually find just out there. It costs a lot of money. Believe me when I tell you, it costs a lot of money when you are going to take up coaching or go for coaching, to be coached by somebody. It's not a cheap thing. And so the information that Tim is sharing with us on every Saturday, it's real value that he's giving us, and we can only learn from it and better from it. And yeah, so it's just a check-in then with you this morning. Have you been doing those assignments that is given? Have you been following through with those things, and has it been beneficial to you? Okay, so that's one of the things that he asked me just to check. I know he wants to be here, it's just that he's not able to be here today. But those are one of the things that he wanted. He wanted to check with you. So if there's anybody that want to share on how the information of the past few weeks that Tim has given you has helped you, assisted you, yeah, you're welcome just to unmute and maybe just share how the information has impacted you. So I'll give you just a moment to do that. Then Brother Bernard, I think your settings, you just need to check, because you've got a lot of people co-hosting here. You just need to maybe remove that co-hosting on the call with the people. So maybe just have a look at that. Okay, and then Arend, I know you usually have a lot to say. Good morning to you. Maybe if you want to just quickly share how the information of the past few weeks that Tim has been sharing has been helping you. Was it beneficial? Please talk to us.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. I think the biggest thing is for me as the experience is, if you don't do the work, you're not going to get anywhere. Bottom line, you have to put in the effort yourself. Okay. Yes, we all have our daily interruptions that take us off on a tangent. But the only way you're going to get through those exercises by putting pure focus and time into actually making that happen. Yes, I have started on the Demini, what's it, DeMartini thing, and the exercises of last week that Tim gave us. Okay, I put them together. I put them in folders. I'm keeping good records. The other thing I've done for myself personally is, and yes, I know it takes a lot of effort, is that I have taken the video recordings of the YouTubes. I've transcribed them so I can actually listen to them again with the words and everything on a Word document, because Word has a feature, Microsoft has a feature in there that you can listen to it and you can regulate the speed to what you want. Okay, so that is my little story from my side. But I do believe, and I still strongly believe, it's amazing training that Tim is giving us. I really compliment him for the effort he's putting into the community, and look forward to the ones going forward that as we move forward. Okay, that's it.
Awesome, awesome. That's so amazing what you're saying there, because you know, if you don't put in the daily work into where you want to be one day, then it's going to you know, it's going to be a difficult thing. So you know, one of the tools that we use is obviously implementing a daily planner. You know, and that coincides with the SMART goals, because once you break down those SMART goals, you bring it down into you know, your time, you know, when you want to achieve it, and then from that you derive your daily planner. And so it's important for us to break the whole thing down that we envision to do into those SMART goals. And when you get to that place of having to break it down into your timelines, then it's good to break it down. And this thing is so important to do, because you can apply it with everything that you are doing. And you break it down into your timelines. What do you want to achieve by when? And then what are you going to do systematically to get there? And it comes right down from your annual, monthly, weekly to your daily. And once you've broken it all down into daily actionable items, you can actually by that process achieve what you set out to do. So it's very, very important what you are saying. If you don't show that diligence, that consistency in applying what you are being taught, then obviously it's going to seem too far to fetch and to actually accomplish. And we don't want to you know, give all these big things for you to do and make it sound nice and so onwards. And at the end of the day, when you sit down with yourself and you look at your vision, you look at your dreams, you look at what you want to become in life, yes, it's scary to think that you can think that big, but you shouldn't get to a point where you feel you cannot do it because it's just too big. So it's important to break it down into actionable items, so that you can start achieving on a daily basis little things that you're applying. And as you do that kind of application, you're definitely going to reach your goals. You're definitely going to see your dreams, your hopes, you know, being fulfilled. And so that is so important for us to really be cognizant of, is that we really need to be consistent in doing exactly that we believe and feel that we need to start doing. So thank you so much for that, Aaron. Anything else you want to say?
Can I just add one thing? And
Yeah.
I'll give you the reasoning why I've actually done it. Okay. Yes, it's all good and well to listen to the recordings. Okay. But if you physically don't see the wording, okay, your mind doesn't register. That is for me. Okay. I know we all think differently, but I have realized that you can sit there and listen to a Zoom and you miss so much. Your mind just doesn't pick it up. So you have the document, you can sit down, you can watch the person where the voice is on and watch the words going by and say, ah, I did miss that. You know? Yes, it's a lot of extra effort, but to get it to sink in, if I can use the thing into your subconscious, is for me the only way that I get it done. All right. I know, as I said, we're all different. We all take information differently. And that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I do agree with you. You see, the thing with change is that you have to create new neural lanes in your mind. And the only way to create a new cattle trail is to have something on repeat. It must be repetitive information because you're busy forging a new neural path, a new neural lane, and you are building a new neural path, obviously, in your mind. If you go into the neuroscience, you know, you've got these habits, these patterns, these cycles that is, you know, stuck in your mind, which means your response is the same for everything that happens within that cycle. The only way to have a different response or a different outcome is to change that neural pathway and to have, you know, a new way that you are forging. So it's very important, if you're embarking on a journey of change, it's very important to let your old ways, patterns, habits, cycles, mannerisms, attitudes, to let all of that die while you are forging a new neural lane, a new way of thinking. Okay, so as you are maturing, growing, you can actually get that new neural lanes formed in your mind. And once that is there, it becomes the overriding atmosphere that you begin to carry about yourself. So it's important for you to do what you're doing, Aaron, and not just for you. Really, believe me, it's not just for you. What you're saying is so vital. It's for everybody. You know, you have to read on repeat. Then after you read on repeat, you have to speak on repeat what you've read, because now you need to verbalize those things that you've learned. You need to put it into words. There's something significant that, you know, that the Bible teaches us. It says in Romans chapter 4 and verse 17, it says that God calls those things which be not as if it is. And so it's important for us to, even though our circumstances, our present state doesn't dictate to us where we want to be, it's our responsibility to create a new neural path, a new way of thinking, you know, and then to, once we've created that, we've taken in the information, to verbalize it, to speak it out, to call those things which be not as if it is. And then, you know, it starts to develop, it starts to materialize, and you can start seeing the results. You know, we find it in scripture as well, in Proverbs 23 and verse 7. I think it says, you know, that whatever it is that you think, okay, in your heart is what you become. As a man thinks in his heart, so easy. So it's very important for us to raise our level of interacting into what we want to become. We firstly change the way we're thinking, right? Get that courage, that motivation, in your heart. Align yourself correctly with where you want to be. Okay, as a man thinks in his heart, so easy. In other words, it eventually spills over into materializing in your life. So you become exactly what you're thinking, you become exactly what you're saying. So it's important not to just come onto the Zoom on a Saturday, listen to the information, and then wait for next Saturday. It's important to do what you're doing, Aaron, and everybody here, I think, should be doing that, is to take that information, take that video, get the written word down, read it, repeat it, and then see, obviously, it happen in your life. And we all get there. We will all get there if we do that work diligently, consistently. These are words that I frequently use, in our church: consistency, diligently, commitment, faithfulness. So if you really want to, as you're embarking on the process of change, if you really want to see the change, those are the kind of things that you need to really harness about yourself. Awesome. Thank you for that. Is there anybody else that want to share on what Tim has been talking about, talking us through on the last few weeks? Anybody else? Christina, they said to me, I must ask you something today. You must talk. You must say something today. So maybe I'll ask you just to unmute and share a little bit from your perspective as well.
Greetings, everyone. What a lovely Saturday morning. I always, sure. I know one thing, what you said now, that whatever we think in our heart, we can achieve or we become. And the thing I think that we maybe sometimes make a mistake here is we dream about what we want, but we dream with uncertainty, we dream with fear. In other words, it isn't a certainty in our mind that it will happen. So we do things like I want to drive. This is just a very, very simple example. I want to drive a Toyota SUV V8. I don't even know if you've got something like that, because I'm not really a cars person. And you dream about this car, and you put up pictures on your vision board, and you think about yourself driving this car, and you actually go to a dealer and you sit in the car and you do all the things right. But then also in your mind, you say, but will it really be possible? Just in case not, I'm also going to look at a Nissan Bakkie, just in case. So believe that, and I mean, different people calls these things different things. People of faith call this, God. People who are spiritual call it the universe. Scientists call it quantum physics, and witches call it magic. But whatever you think really already exists. It just has to materialize, because energy cannot be destroyed. And I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Whatever you really, really want, you must keep in your heart, and you must not doubt any moment. It is just something that, and sometimes, I don't know if you've had these experiences in your life. Sometimes I want something, I really, really want it. I don't think about how, I don't think about when. I just think to myself, I want to move to Sagefield. And I really haven't, or no, that was not how it started. It started with, I want to retire at the coast. And now I am moving to Sagefield, but I never really planned my retirement at the coast. It is just something that happened. It's not, of course, there are details now that I've got to sort out, but I've just always really wanted to retire at the coast. Ever since I was probably about 25 years younger, I thought one day I want to retire at the coast. And it's not that I spent years and months at the coast in between. The last few years I have, but I've never really wondered about how will I do that? Will I have enough money? What will the farm not need me forever? Everything kind of like just fell in place, because in my heart, that's really what I wanted to do. It's really something that I wanted. I never doubted it. I never thought about alternatives. I just always knew this is what is going to happen. And now things are falling in place. And I'm sure if you think about your life, there are things that you really, really wanted, but you didn't think too much about it. You just wanted it. And it happened. It is not to be put in doubt. But will this really be possible? What if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't happen? That the moment that doubt comes in is when you delay the process of making it happen, or and it doesn't matter what your standpoint is, whether it is religious, whether it is scientific, whether it is spiritual, whether it's pagan, because we are a diverse community here. But whatever you think is energy that has been sent out, and that energy must materialize, and it is materializing in some way, maybe in a parallel universe. But the moment you bring doubt into where we are right now, it delays it. Dr. Clinton, I don't know if this is something you wanted to hear this morning, but it is something that what you said, that whatever is in our heart, we can have or we can achieve. I think there's a very nice book about that. I can't remember who wrote it at the moment.
Absolutely, Christina. I see that, Tina. I'm going to give to you just now, but I just want to comment quickly also on what Christina says. Absolutely, Christina. You know, most of the stuff that we talk about is very, very biblical. And so I can, because I'm a pastor, I can always relate what we're saying back to the scripture. You know, there's a acronym for fear. The acronym is false evidence appearing real. Okay, and so many times we get into the fear of the moment. That's why I said earlier on, we need to harness enough courage in our heart to believe what we're thinking about, and to actually see it come into manifestation or materializing in our lives. I think it's 1 Timothy 1:7. It says, God has not given us a spirit to fear again, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And so it's important for us to not allow any fear. And it's so vital what you're saying. If you just decide to do something and you go do it, you really don't experience any of the challenges that you may have experienced if you have sat down, given it more thought, and allow fear and doubt to settle in. Usually, you know, if I think about something, I'm going to do something, I jump up and I do it without giving much thought to it, because I know I'm going to see it happen. The moment you overthink, you're giving a chance for that fear and that doubt and that worry and that anxiety to settle in. And when those things settle in, you likely won't achieve what you want to achieve. Tina, I see your hand up there. You can unmute.
Okay, hi everybody. I just love what Faustina said. It resonates with me so strongly. I think, Faustina, you were just so spot on. I've done a lot of work with Joe Dispenza through his stuff. He's a neuroscientist and quantum physics and all that stuff. And it all is kind of saying the same sort of thing. And I have two quotes that I wanted to share that I have on my wall that I look at constantly. One you'll know, Clinton, it's from Mark. It's where Jesus, the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus says, "Truly I say to you, that whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but is believing that what he is speaking is coming about, he shall have it." And there are some amplified versions of that that say, "And without any doubt in his heart, believes that what he says will happen, then it will happen." And another version of that says, "This is the reason I urge you to boldly believe for whatever you ask for in prayer. Be convinced that you have received it and it will be yours." And I think those words echo what we've been saying, because Jesus had so much wisdom. But I've also got a quote here by a guy by the name of Neville Goddard, who's very into, you need to feel the emotion of what it is you want. Don't just say, "I want a Toyota," but kind of imagine on a daily basis that you're sitting in that Toyota, and how would it make you feel, and how would the leatherwork smell, and get totally lost in it. And a quote from him, which I hope that this all relates to what we're talking about, because it's such a fantastic subject. Neville Goddard says that we are to disregard conditions, appearances, in fact, all evidence of your five senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assurance that you are already what you want to be. For that, in that determined assumption, you and your extraordinary self are merged with God, and with God all things are possible. God who never fails. I'm a piece of that which never fails. I think if it's, I hope you don't mind me sharing those things, because it all builds on to what Faustina was saying. The whole general theme of the topic is, just our thoughts and our feelings. We are creating realities, and it's a constant thing that you have to work on. It's a daily exercise that you've got to pursue, because we can change our world by changing the way we think. That's what I wanted to say. Thanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that valuable input there. It's something that that I firmly believe in, because of personal experience. Many years ago, I used to drive a Golf, and as I was driving and praying one day, I saw this Golf changing shape into a white Mercedes-Benz. And 2 years later, somebody literally blessed me with a white Mercedes-Benz. And it's something that I saw while I was driving the Golf, and 2 years later it materialized because I believed what I saw, and I knew it was coming, and I did not let any doubt settle into my heart and stuff like that. So very important that you are saying, Hebrews 11 and verse 1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And so if we are believing in our nature, we have the substance of what we are hoping for. Even though we don't see it yet, it's surely going to materialize in our lives. So yeah, that's so awesome. Is there anybody else that want to chip in quickly on what Tim has been teaching on for the past couple of weeks? Anybody else want to chip in on it? I'll give you an opportunity just to share how your experience has been with the stuff that Tim has been teaching over the past few weeks. Anybody else? I know Coach B always have something to say. So, Coach B, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I think one thing good about what Tim is helping is actually just to focus on what we want, where we're going. So it's almost like it's been a roadmap to success, going from point A to point B. And I find using in my personal life, in my business, and with power gifting, and then with Sandra, myself on Tuesdays, with getting the people from point A to point B, it's actually been amazing using it there.
Awesome. And, we can really just be thankful, grateful for all the input that we are receiving, within this platform. This is like nothing else out there. And I really believe that we are really advancing in terms of, growing the community, not just financially, but, in terms of achieving holistically, if I can put it that way. And so that is just so amazing for me. And I can only really appreciate what we have here. Okay, I don't want to keep anybody too long today. I just want to let you know I spent most of the day yesterday with the developer. They are doing uploads, but they are getting error messages with certain things. So they are clearing it out by process. Okay. Remember what I said, that once we go live, we will be fully functional for phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. All the rules and all those things are put into place so that if you qualify for phase 3, whoever qualifies first is going to get there. So it's a lot of programming that they've been doing, and just with the uploading, they're just making sure that all the error messages are being cleared as they are doing the uploads. So please, just from my side, I'm asking, I know it's long, but a little bit more patience, because once we go live, there's no stopping what power gifting is going to be able to do. Okay, so that's just a short update from my side. Coach B, I don't want, just stop the recording for us. I just want to share one last thing without the recording being on.